Hi guys, this is Arka Roy, your friend, your guide from Unacademy. And friends, welcome to Demystifying Popular B School Myths. Okay, now we will try to answer a very crucial question in this. So often I get a question that I have a score of less than 60% in graduation. Do I have any chance of entering a B school? Okay, so this is something we will try to see. Do you realistically have any chance of joining a B school if you're having a lower graduation score? Okay, so let's start off with how much impact does a graduation score make on your selection process, and then onwards we'll definitely go ahead and see if at all there is any B schools which accept score less than 60%. Okay, so friends, first of all, what we are trying to understand over here is, does lower grades in your graduation, okay, mean no shortlisting? Absolutely no, guys. This is a myth that is there, but this does not actually happen. Okay, understand one thing, guys. Most of the B schools today, in today's world, most of the Indian B schools do a profile based shortlisting. So what do I mean by profile based shortlisting? So your profile based shortlisting means it is done on the base of your profile, and your profile is not only your graduation 10-12 marks. Okay, this is something you need to understand. So your profile means 10-12 graduation is definitely a part of your profile. Along with that, your work experience and your extracurricular activities and the other things that you will be writing down on your CV, everything adds up as your profile. Okay, and you are getting marks for all those points that are there. Having said that, of course it is a fact that in a profile based selection there are some points that are allocated to the class 10, 12 and graduation scores. Okay, definitely if you are having a poor score on 10 in 10, 12 or graduation, you will be penalized over there, but that does not mean that your game gets over there. Let me explain with an example. So let's say if you are having a very poor score in 10, 12 and graduation. Okay, however, on the other hand, you have a extracurricular activity, like maybe you have played for the state or maybe you have represented the country somewhere. So this is something definitely a differentiating factor for you. Okay, so that will fetch you a lot of points which will not be there on the CVs of many candidates. Or let's say if you have worked in a very niche kind of profile which is not common among the other aspirants who are applying in the same B school. So these are the factors that will also impact along with your 10, 12 and graduation. Okay, now the next thing is, guys, more than a lower 10, 12 and graduation scores, what you need to concentrate on is how can you show, or rather what can you do in order to prove that you have been working hard to come over the weaknesses that you faced during your 10, 12 and graduation. So this is something you need to figure out before you go for the PI. Okay, so guys, understand one thing. The B schools understand that human beings do have shortcomings. Okay, so it is not a problem to have shortcomings. What is more important is what are you doing in order to overcome those shortcomings. So this is one mool mantra, guys. Keep in mind, wherever you're facing that feeling, rather, that you are having some dark patches on the CV, try to figure out by answering it in this pattern, what can you do in order to overcome that dark patch, and place that as an answer for the dark patch in your interview. Okay, that is something you can always do, not only for your graduation marks. Next thing is, guys, yes, of course, if you are having low scores in your graduation 10s and 12, then you may definitely get drilled upon in the interview on those points. Have your answer. That is what I was saying right now. So you need to show that you have that intention to work hard, and you do actually take a lot of effort to improve yourself in terms of value addition and in terms of learning. So that is something you have to prove, and that is something you need to prepare before going for a PI. Okay, now next thing is, guys, the B schools, different B schools have different kind of weightage on the different parameters. So there are some B schools which give a lot of importance to this part. There are some B schools which give more importance to the work experience, and there are some B schools which gives a lot of experience to these two factors combined. Okay, so over here let us see which are the B schools which give a lower weightage on this factor, which is the class 10, 12 graduation scores. Okay, so the B schools are FMS Delhi, NITI Mumbai, MDI Gurgaon, SPJIMR. So SPJIMR typically gives a lot of experience to these two, work experience and extracurricular activities. IIT Delhi, IIFT. So guys, these are few B schools, okay, which gives a lower focus on class 10, 12 and graduation scores, okay. Now, next question is very crucial question which I often get from the students is, are there any B schools accepting scores below 60% in graduation? Okay, so guys, yes, there are a few good B schools which do accept scores below 60%. Having said that, most of them accept scores which are beyond 50%. So instead of keeping their lower line to 60, they keep it for for 50. However, having said that, let me tell you one thing. Definitely the score lines with lower lower scores on graduation, they do get penalized on those parameters, but yes, they definitely can apply provided they have the other parameters stronger. Okay, so that will help them, that may often help them to even crack the B school with a lower score in graduation. So let us see which are the B schools that accept scores above 50%. Okay, so we have XIMB, there is IRMA accepts scores below 60%, but yes, that needs to be above 50. There is SIBM Pune, SIBM Bangalore, SIIB, SCIT, SIOM. So these symbiosis bracket of colleges, they do accept scores below 60. Okay, there is MICA, Wellinger, Sydenham, ITM, Navi Mumbai. So guys, I have not arranged them in order of their preferences, but what I've done is I've tried to give you B school across different ranges of percentile where you can apply if you are having score lines below 50, below 60% in your graduations. Okay, so these are the B schools you can look forward to if you are having a graduation score of less than 60%. Another B school which does not give preference to that 60% bracket is MDI Gurgaon, which comes in the top 10. So guys, these are some of the things I wanted to discuss too. So guys, understand one thing: if you are having a graduation score below 60, that does not mean that your MBA dreams are killed. Trust me on that. You definitely have a good amount of chances. Focus on your CAT, focus on strengthening your profile. You never know, even if you are having say less than 60% kind of a score in graduations, but if you are having a better profile in terms of work experience and extracurricular activities, you can even defeat a person with a good graduation score and secure a seat in any of these B schools. Okay, so guys, always remember this, that a graduation score less than 60% does not mean your B school dreams are killed. Second, if you have a poor graduation, if you have a poor 10, 12 and graduation, that does not mean that you do not have any chances of getting into the top B schools. Okay, so guys, that is it from my end for this particular lesson. Thank you so much. Guys, if you want me to take up something in particular, if there is some question that you are having within yourself and you want me to answer that, please feel free to comment them. Thank you so much once again.